Ready? Ready.
What's up, guys? It's Pick'em with HuddleGG, and welcome back to another episode of Ask Huddle. If you guys are new here, this is a series that we do each week where we answer your guys' questions. So if you have a question you'd like answered in a future video, wherever you're watching this, just make sure you leave that in the comment section below, and we will do our very best to get to it. You can also ask us in our Discord. It's completely free to join. Just go to HuddleGG/Discord. With that being said, let's dive right into this week's video. And the first question today comes from Beta Ray Jim, and they ask, do the Gunslinger and Quickdraw abilities stack? So when people ask if an ability stacks with one another, it's can you use this ability and this one to get boosted benefits, right? So Quickdraw and Gunslinger are very similar abilities. And if we look at the Quickdraw ability here, you're going to see that it says faster throwing animations when under pressure. And then if we go to Gunslinger here at the bottom, it is going to say grants faster passing speed. So the big difference between Gunslinger and Quickdraw is only going to activate when your quarterback is actively under pressure. Okay, so if you're just standing in a clean pocket or you rolled out or something like that and you go to throw the ball, you're not going to see any benefit from Quickdraw. Where with Gunslinger, it's going to happen on every pass that you make. Now, in regards to do they stack, this has been a debate for a few years in the Madden community. I personally don't think it's anything meaningful that you'll notice by stacking them. There are some people who thinks that it makes it even quicker if you do it. I don't think that there's any visual evidence of that, and I've not seen anybody put out any evidence of that as well. Now, there is some coding underneath the hood in regards to Quickdraw, where it does mention that if you are under pressure and you throw it, you can get some added velocity on the pass. Now, in general, what is shown in the game and what certain things are built into the game don't always actually appear in the game for us. So that is a small advantage that you could see when using Quickdraw versus Gunslinger. But in general, I would recommend only running one of these. Now, I would recommend Gunslinger, obviously, because it's going to happen and work on every throw that you make, where, again, as we mentioned, Quickdraw is only going to work when you're under pressure. But if your quarterback doesn't get Gunslinger or it's too much AP and you want to have I guess a watered down version of it, Quickdraw is going to be an option that you can put on your quarterback. But again, in general, I would not recommend running both of these abilities on the same player. The next question today comes from 504J, and they ask, what's the best way to use the switch concept in Madden? This is a great question. For those of you that don't know what the switch concept is, if you look at the middle play here, the switch concept is going to be the two receivers on the left side. Okay, so it's going to be typically in Madden, what you'll see is the outside receiver is going to run an S post and the inside receiver is going to run a wheel. And what they're doing is essentially switching their positions at the snap. Again, the outside receiver is not going to be the inside guy is not going to be the outside guy. It can be confusing for defenses, especially in real life. Now, in Madden, what we want to do is we're actually going to utilize this to attack Tampa 2. Now, there's other ways to utilize this route concept, obviously, but this is a very unique way that we've been teaching at Huddle for years. Something that AntCat found quite a long time ago, and it still works great to this day. And we've mentioned it in videos before where we talk about making zones disappear. Okay, so what do we mean by that? So if we look at the defense here, you're going to see we're in a Tampa 2 where we have the outside corners are in cloud flats. Now, cloud flats typically in Madden are not going to be matching, okay? They're typically going to zone off. They'll get zone chucks on the outside receivers, but then they're going to zone off and cloud over that flat area anywhere from 12 to 18 yards down the field. Now, with this specific route concept, the switch, they actually will match the wheel, the cloud flat wheel down the field. So we're going to attack the left sideline where that cloud flat is going to disappear. Okay, so how do we do that? First of all, I'm just going to block my running back on this play. We need to send a route over there to the left side that'll get there late enough where the cloud flat's already matched to the wheel, but we don't want it to take too long, right? So we're just going to put the tight end here on a slant. Okay, so this easy route combo right here is going to be absolutely wide open on the left sideline. So if we go to say hike, and we'll look in the replay and look why it works so well, but you're going to see that we're able to throw this and you can catch that. And if you have the opportunity to rat catch it and turn up the field, obviously great. If not, we're going to be able to catch it and get ourselves an easy 15 or so yards down the field. And the reason why it's working is, again, this switch concept against Tampa 2, when there's no other threats to the flat here to take this cloud flat away from matching, he is going to match down the field to this route. And you can see he turns and runs. And once he decides that he's matching, he's never going to unmatch. Okay, so at this point, when he's turning and running and he's decided he's matching, our slant is not outside the numbers yet to get in that guy's vision. All right. So by the time he matches, the slant is now in the area. But again, once he matches, we said he's not going to unmatch. So he's already running down the field. We're now going to be able to throw this on the sideline and get ourselves the catch there. And you can see there's nobody there. Again, that's what we talk about when we're talking about this, or making this zone disappear, is we're going to make this cloud flat completely leave his area. And now we're going to have a wide open throw there on the sideline. So again, one more time, we'll run it just to show you that it is consistent. And all we need to do is really just put a third route over there to the sideline. And we want it to get there late enough where that outside corner has already matched, right? So if we go to say hike here, you're going to see, we're just going to wait. We're going to throw that. And you can see there, we were actually able to rack it and get ourselves some even more yards down the field. If you're really close to the sideline, I would just recommend using possession catch to make sure you get your feet in. But if you do have the space here, you can see that that cloud flat is matching the wheel down the field. We're now going to be able to throw this to the tight end on that slant. And again, if you have room, rack catch that, get up the field, and that is going to be the easiest 20 to 30 yards that you're ever going to find. You can also do it with different routes as well. So let's say that we want to do it with something like an out route. We could put this running back on an out route here. Let's move him down to the line. And you want to custom stem him up enough. And I'm going to show you what I mean by that. So first, I'm just going to custom stem him up once on the D-pad, and he's going to run at about 8 to 10 yards, right? So you're going to see why this could be an issue. So if we go to say hike here, you're going to see that's not open, right? I mean, we were able to get the catch, but the cloud flat's sitting right there and he's ready. And the reason for that is when we only custom stem it up once, he is going to get outside the numbers, as you can see here, before this guy has matched the wheel. And because he gets there before he's matched the wheel, he's just going to sit in that cloud flat area, and he's going to be there to cover this. Obviously, you see he's right there. So what can we do to fix that? All we want to do is we just want to increase the depth of this route a little bit. Okay, so let's just custom stem it up twice on the D-pad. Okay, so if we look at our play art here, let me get the B out of the picture. You're going to see that we're running it a little bit deeper. Now we're going to allow that wheel to get into that area of the cloud flat, get him to match, and now we should be able to throw the RB on the sideline. Okay, so if we go to say hike here, you're going to see, we're just going to wait. You're going to see that right there, nobody is there. We can catch that ball and get ourselves an easy completion. And if we look at the replay here real quick, you're going to see exactly, again, why this is working. Like I said, by the time this cloud flat is seeing this wheel and he realizes there's nobody else to the outside or outside of the numbers to threaten his area, he is going to match this. And once he's matched, he's not going to unmatch. So now once this player gets outside the numbers, this player has already matched. So we're now going to know that we're going to have this open throw on the sideline. Again, this is a unique way to utilize the switch concept, but a really, really effective way. And you can do this out of other formations as well. Just make sure that you have the appropriate depth of your routes to making sure that that third route does not get into that area until that cloud flat has matched the wheel route from the slot receiver. Our next question today comes from Match Zone, and they ask, how do you like to attack 3 double cloud with the outside corners and soft squats? That's a really, really good question, and a defense that I actually run a lot myself. It's in the 3-3-5 penny 3 high, which is in the Cardinals playbook, and we just dropped a full game plan on this specific formation as well and how to best utilize this. But how can we attack this? And the first thing is making sure that we understand what type of coverage it is, and we want to look at the deep shell of this coverage, and it's still a cover 3. Okay, so even though it's a unique looking cover 3, the way that the defense is going to align, which players are in the deep zones and all of that, it still doesn't mean that it's not a cover 3. So we can still attack it with the same principles down the field that we talk about in general when it comes to attacking cover 3. Okay, now there's various ways we could attack this underneath. We're going to show you how you can bomb this over the top for a 1-play touchdown. So if we come out in this play, 3 double cloud, we're going to come out in a spread set. Okay, so 2x2 spread set. Doesn't really matter what play you come out in because it's going to be all hot routes that we're utilizing. But you're going to see, first of all, if we look at the defense, again, it's a cover 3. These guys are in outside thirds. Whether they're playing from the safety position or the outside corner position, they're still vulnerable to bite on specific routes that we can put on the field. Okay, now if we look at putting the outside guys on soft squats, you're going to see there, we put those guys on soft squats. That's not going to change how the deep players play. It will change how the actual outside corners play, right? A cloud flat's going to play differently than a soft squat. But in terms of how those deep safeties on the outside thirds are going to play, it's not going to change, so we can still take advantage of that. So what we want to do is we're going to put both outside guys on comebacks. Okay, I would block my running back as well, and then we're going to put both inside guys on posts. Okay, so it's going to look something like this. Now what's going to happen is the comebacks are going to get the attention of the outside thirds, and they're going to pull those routes down, which is going to put a 2-on-1 on that middle safety in the deep middle third, and he obviously cannot cover both the Y and the A, even if they click onto it with their user. So you're going to have one of these guys open, depending on which way the user picks. If the user doesn't go after either of those, you're going to have both of them open. Okay, so what you're going to see here is when we go to say hike, we're just going to sit here in the pocket. It's going to take a little bit of time, but we're going to be able to throw this ball right into that area and get ourselves an easy one-play touchdown. And you're going to look at the replay and you're going to see exactly why this play is working. And it's similar to the last thing we talked about in terms of getting those cloud flats to match when we were looking at the switch concept and making sure that we didn't get that route into the area of the field until it had matched. That's going to be similar here. So what you'll see is this outside guy is going to run a comeback. At this point, when he's breaking on his comeback, this player has nobody else to worry about in his area of the field. This guy's running away from him. The guy that we're actually attacking with to the left side is coming from the right side of the screen. He's not even to the middle of the field yet. So this comeback is going to get the attention of this safety and get him to bite down. And what you're going to see is by the time he realizes this guy is now running into his area of the field, the outside corner is trying to turn and run, but he's already been beat at this point. And we're going to be able to throw that in between the corner and the safety over the top for the easy one-play touchdown. Now, if we look to the right side of the screen, you're going to see we would have been able to throw it over here as well for the same exact reason. When this player runs his comeback, the safety here, who's in the outside third, is going to bite down because there's no other threats to his area yet, because this guy is still in the middle of the field, which would be the deep middle safety's responsibility. So you're going to see that we would be able to throw this over the top as well to this side of the field. And like I said, even if they click onto that safety, you're going to get wide open guys to each side. The safety can only take away one of those. Okay, now you can work on custom stemming these routes as well if you'd like. So let's say that you want to custom stem them up one on the D-pad just to get them to go a little bit deeper. You can definitely do that. That's not going to affect the way that this play works. So again, if you see here, if we put the outside guys on soft squats, all that's going to do is instead of them trying to zone chuck and play underneath the comeback, they're now going to match the comeback and play man-to-man against it. But again, it does not change the deep safeties or the deep outside thirds responsibility. So if we say hike here, we're just going to buy time in the pocket. And you can see, once again, we are able to throw that ball easily over the top and get ourselves an easy one-play touchdown. Like I said, you can run this to the left or you can throw this to the left or the right with this concept. If we look at the replay one more time, you're going to see that the receiver running from left to right is going to be wide open as well. Like I said, we get this guy to bite down. We got this guy to bite down. By the time they realize somebody's running into their area, it's too late. Like I said, if they user this player here, that's fine. If they go to the right, we'll throw left. If they go to the left, we'll throw it to the right. Again, this is a really, really easy concept to attack this down the field. Again, think of it more like a cover 3 in terms of, again, vertically attacking this. Underneath, again, you would have to work with different things because obviously the soft squats are going to change things. But if you start to run this concept, people will get out of this defense very quickly, or they're going to have to adjust, and then that's going to open up different things on the field for us as well. Our last question today comes from Bearcats24, and they ask, how do you like to score near the goal line? Now, this is going to be a concept that we utilize a lot out of single back trio, but you can do this out of different formations as well. And we're going to be utilizing a PA boot style play. We're going to be using PA boot LT or left here with the single back trio. But again, you can run different PA boots in this game and still get this same concept. But we really like the route combination on this play as well. So what we're going to do is when we come out in this play, all we're going to do is we're going to put the Y receiver on a flat route. Okay. Now, the great thing about this is you want to run the boot opposite of your quarterback's throwing arm. So if you are a right-handed quarterback, you want to run a boot to the left. If you're a left-handed quarterback, you want to run a boot to the right. Now, the great thing about this play is we can throw the ball if we see somebody open, okay? So a lot of times they're going to bring their user to the middle of the field, obviously, because they're going to look to help out on the running back, or maybe they're looking for a stretch to the right. And obviously this is going to be a play action stretch to the right. So it's going to look like we're going over there. But you're going to see here that we're going to be able to get around the edge here of this guy. And a lot of times you can just run the ball in and get yourself a touchdown that way. Okay, so if you do have the opportunity to just run around the edge, you can definitely do that. One thing I want to mention is if we look at our play art here, you're going to see that the flame icon is above the left of screen edge player, which is fine. Again, that's the player that we are going to be able to beat around the edge. And then it's on the user right now. If they bring the user closer, you're going to see that it's going to switch to that D lineman. We never want to have two D linemen or edge rushers to the rollout side that are untargeted. So to fix that, what we'd want to do is we just want to untarget the user here. And you can see that it's now going to make the edge rusher on the left as the untargeted guy. That corner back there who's guarding the B, that's fine if he is. We just don't want that D tackle. We don't want two defensive linemen rushing in at our quarterback, because then it's going to be harder to get around the edge with that player. But again, here we're going to say hike. You're going to see we're able to get around the edge here. And we're just going to be able to run in and get ourselves a touchdown. This is very, very hard to defend. Even if you have really good play rec, even if you have really good players there at the edge, even if they're containing, it can still be very, very tough for your opponent. Now, if they do start to get super aggressive and you're going to see, let's say that they're over here and let's say they're blitzing their user and just trying to really get aggressive into attacking what we're doing. Again, first of all, make sure that the player to the left is the guy that has the flame icon and not two of them. Again, that's key here. But if we go to say hike, you're going to see if we get around the edge and you don't like the run, you can always throw it to this tight end on the back side of the end zone. If they're playing zone, you can also hit the whip route as well. So the whip route is something that you can run against man and zone as well. So you can see here, if you like this, if you see your guy win, you can throw this. Again, this is really, really good against zone coverage. But if they do cover this, typically you are going to have this back of the end zone deep dig open to the tight end. So again, it's really just scramble with your quarterback or look for that whip or look for that back of the line tight end there on the dig route at the back of the end zone. And if you guys are looking to get even better at Madden or college football, make sure to join our free Discord by going to HuddleGG/Discord.